So, let's take a minute to discuss a really kind of funny piece of irony. I know it's October, well, not quite October, but almost October, because it is incredibly busy. In other words, the weekend schedules are rather filled. And the reason this is ironic is because back when I was doing Rocky Horror Picture Show, October was the busiest month. You had your regular show, usually you had a special Halloween show, there was a show out of town that our troupe typically did, about an hour and a half away. There was sometimes a special show somewhere else, maybe guesting somewhere else, and trying to catch at least one other troupe's show. So, you'd maybe hit 5 shows in 2 weeks, sometimes more, and that meant extra rehearsal and usually making survival kits. So add on a couple extra days for that. So one of the things that is a reason that I left Rocky Horror Picture Show is because medically not only was not doing, was it an issue for me to be actually physically doing the parts, but also a lot of the prep work. So I couldn't crawl around to put together the survival kit bags, stuff like that. And so obviously doing the art conventions, art shows are much easier. I don't do the lifting. I sit at the table. And I can easily have my assistive devices and all of those things. But so we just came off of RamenCon. And if you are a member of my Patreon, you know the story of why there's not a vlog from that, or at least a brief synopsis of that. By the way, if you're watching this and you're not on my Patreon, joining my Patreon, you unlock pictures, poems, stories, things that you don't have access to on the regular vlog stuff, on the regular YouTube. So I would encourage you to do that. You unlock pretty much everything at the $15 level, and then there's a $5 and a $10 level as well. But if you want to unlock everything, pretty much it's the 15. Anyway, so we are coming off of RamenCon. This weekend is the Bizarre Bazaar by Rogue Syndicate, which is in Valparaiso, Indiana, at the Porter County Fairgrounds. And then next week, we have on Friday night, we actually have the opening of South Lake County Art Co-op's opening of the Word exhibition at Sip One Coffee House in Crown Point on the square, Crown Point Square. So I'm a featured poet in that, and I will have art in that. I already have my notification. I've been chosen. In fact, we have to drop that off this weekend. And then on Saturday, the 5th of October, so that's on the 4th of October, 5th of October, we have Haunting in Hammond, which is in downtown Hammond, corner of Sibley and Holman, which is where Arts in the Avenue always is. They're going to have a setup, and you can actually meet the guy who played Eddie Munster, too. But there'll be a lot of craft booths and things like that. And then the following weekend, we're actually going to be another Oddities show in Cedar Lake, near the big fairgrounds. I'm not exactly sure where that is technically, but they approached us to encourage us to sign up and we are excited about it. So it'll be quite interesting, I think, to work with that. So the hardest part of that is going to be driving back and forth, because even though I looked online to even see if there was a hotel, there's not a hotel near there. There's not anything that would be closer than, more than 5 minutes closer than driving back and forth. So anyway, our October is going to be really slammed, but I think it's going to be the fun kind of slammed. I think it'll be a really neat experience with us to do that many different kind of art shows. So this one's called He Passed Last Week, just letting you know. It's an older one of mine. People tell stories. He won writing awards. They have anecdotes and yarns to spin. Speaking of better times, when his sarcasm was joking, not just biting, when he sipped coffee from a Viagra mug, even at work. But it was charming. Each semester for orientations, he removed his glasses for public speaking, claiming if he couldn't see you, you couldn't give him stage fright. Insert self-deprecating laugh.
Woo!
Last one's called NyQuil DM, and warn you, there's yelling.
Woo!
Yeah, yell!
Just don't start the bomb.
Why is there math on this exam? 3 hours or 12, 10 or 20 for the count you ask, and I just want the right ones. I don't know what the answers are. I failed algebra. I told you my husband was sick, and you gave me a word problem instead of a bottle you don't carry. The next best thing involves me knowing about a chemical compound other people have driven behind the counter to speed another day, but only ever leaves me sleepy, draped over bed or chair like a doll. I'm a paradox, and I haven't time for algebra. Life is urgency or nothingness, and I've answered enough questions for the retinal scan ID processing of the near dystopia in which we live. I pluck a green bottle from the shelf as well. Together, if they're good enough, am I? Why is there math on this exam?
Woo! Shadow!